Have you ever wondered why some people are drawn to cats while others need dogs? It's not just about preference. It's about something deeper, something hidden. Your choice of pet might reveal the geography of your own mind, the invisible architecture of your soul. This isn't about which animal is better. It's about what each choice says about the person making it. Think of your pet as a mirror, not the kind that shows your face, but the kind that reflects your inner world, the landscapes you carry inside yourself, the parts of you that remain unspoken. When you choose a cat or a dog, you're not just selecting a companion. You're selecting an external echo of your internal landscape. And here's what makes this fascinating. The choice isn't random. It follows patterns. Patterns that psychologists have been studying for decades. Patterns that reveal your attachment style, your social needs, your emotional rhythms. By the end of this exploration, you might see yourself differently. You might understand why you've always been drawn to one type of companionship over another. Let's begin with dog lovers. Picture someone who needs a dog, not wants, needs. What does that tell us? Research shows that dog people tend to score higher on extroversion and agreeableness. They crave social harmony. They move toward people rather than away from them. A dog's love is like midday sun. Bright, unavoidable, constant. It floods every corner of the room. Consider a case profile. Sarah. She works in marketing. Her apartment fills with noise the moment she opens the door. Her golden retriever doesn't just greet her. He celebrates her. Every single time. For Sarah, this matters more than she can articulate. She spent her childhood moving from city to city. Friendships felt temporary, fragile. But her dog's devotion, that's permanent, unshakable. It fills a space inside her that human relationships sometimes miss. Dog lovers often need reassurance that they matter, not because they're insecure, but because they're deeply social. They understand the world through connection, through presence. A dog provides that connection without judgment, without the complexity of human interaction. The relationship is simple, pure. You exist, therefore I love you. For someone wired for extroversion, this simplicity feels like oxygen. Now there's another element. Dog people tend to enjoy routine, structure. A dog needs walks at specific times, feeding schedules, consistency. This creates rhythm, and rhythm creates meaning. When you know your dog depends on you, your days gain purpose. You're not just living, you're needed. That need transforms ordinary moments into something larger. But here's what's interesting. Dog lovers also score higher on agreeableness. They avoid conflict. They want peace. A dog never challenges you, never questions your choices. The relationship exists in a space of unconditional acceptance. For someone who values harmony, this matters deeply. It's a relationship where you can fully exhale. Think about what this reveals. Dog people are often building something. They're creating a small ecosystem of loyalty and routine. Their pet becomes the sun around which their daily life orbits. Wake up, walk, work, return, walk again. The pattern repeats. And in that repetition, there's comfort, stability, a sense that the world, despite its chaos, contains at least one unbreakable bond. Now let's turn to cat lovers. The psychology shifts entirely. Cat people tend to score higher on openness and introspection. They value independence, not just in their pets, but in themselves. A cat's love is like moonlight, shifting, quiet. It arrives on its own terms. You can't force it. You can only wait for it. Consider another case profile. A composite based on observed patterns. Elias. He's a software engineer. He works from home. His apartment is silent except for the occasional sound of his cat moving through rooms. When his cat finally settles beside him, Elias feels something profound, chosen. His cat could be anywhere, on the windowsill, under the bed, in another room entirely, but she's here, next to him. That choice feels more meaningful than any forced interaction ever could. Cat lovers understand something fundamental. Love doesn't have to be loud to be real. In fact, the quietest forms of affection often run deepest. A cat purring in your lap isn't performing loyalty. It's offering trust. And trust, once earned, holds more weight than devotion freely given. Here's what separates cat people from dog people. Cat lovers are comfortable with boundaries. They don't need constant validation. They don't measure love by how much attention they receive. They measure it by quality, by intention. When a cat seeks you out, it's not because it's programmed to need you. It's because in that moment, your presence offers something valuable: warmth, safety, stillness. This reveals something about the person. Cat people often value their internal world more than external validation. They're readers, thinkers, people who need solitude to recharge. A cat respects that need. It doesn't demand your emotional energy. It coexists. Two independent beings sharing space. This arrangement feels natural to someone who values autonomy. But there's more beneath the surface. Cat lovers tend to appreciate nuance, subtlety. They notice small changes, the way their cat's ear flicks when listening, the specific spot where she always sits when anxious. These details matter. They speak a language that doesn't require words. For someone high in openness, this complexity is engaging. It's a puzzle that never fully solves itself. Cat people also tend to be less conventional. They question social norms. They're comfortable standing apart from the crowd. Choosing a cat when society often celebrates dogs feels like a quiet rebellion. A statement: I don't need what everyone else needs. I'm content with something different. Something that asks more of me. Something that refuses to be taken for granted. There's a power dynamic worth examining. With dogs, the human is the sun, the center, the source of everything good. With cats, the relationship is more balanced. You're not worshipped, you're evaluated, respected when you've earned it. For certain personalities, this feels more honest, more real, because it mirrors how they see relationships in general, as exchanges between equals rather than dependencies. Now we see these two ecosystems of feeling. Dog lovers building worlds of loyalty and routine. Cat lovers cultivating spaces of earned affection and independence. Neither is better. Neither is worse. They're simply different ways of being human. Different answers to the same question. How do I want to connect? What kind of love do I need? But here's where it gets deeper. Your choice of pet often supplements what you lack or protects what you already have. Dog people might crave the simplicity and loyalty their human relationships sometimes lack. Cat people might protect their need for solitude and complexity that the world often fails to provide. Think about Sarah again. Her childhood was unstable, moving, changing, never certain. Her dog offers what she needed but didn't receive. Unconditional presence. A relationship that won't suddenly disappear. Every time her dog greets her with joy, she's healing something, filling a gap that formed years ago. Now think about Elias. He grew up in a large family. Constant noise, constant demands on his attention. His cat offers what he's always craved but rarely experienced. Sacred silence. The freedom to exist without performance. When his cat curls up beside him without demanding anything. He's finally getting what his soul needs. Space to simply be. This is the invisible function of our pets. They don't just keep us company, they complete us. They provide what our lives otherwise miss. For dog lovers, that's often certainty, enthusiasm. For cat lovers, that's often autonomy, precision. The beauty is that both needs are valid. Both deserve to be met, but we need to go even deeper. Because the truth is more nuanced than simple categories. Some dog people exhibit traits we'd expect from cat people. Some cat people need the loyalty we associate with dogs. The lines blur, and in that blurring, we find something important. We're not just one thing. We contain multitudes, contradictions. The person who needs a dog's devotion might also crave a cat's independence, just in different moments, different seasons of life. This reveals the shared human capacity beneath all preferences, the need for connection balanced against the need for self, the desire to be chosen balanced against the fear of being trapped. We all navigate this tension. Pet preferences are just one way it surfaces, one language through which we speak our deeper truths. Consider this. A dog lover might seem extroverted and social, but maybe that's precisely because they feel alone inside. The dog becomes proof they're capable of connection, evidence against their deeper fear that they're fundamentally isolated. The enthusiastic greeting isn't just the dog's nature. It's the answer to a question the person didn't know they were asking. Am I enough? Am I lovable? Yes. Yes, always yes. Now consider the cat lover. They seem independent, self-sufficient, but maybe that's protection. Maybe they've been hurt by relationships that demanded too much, took too much. The cat's respect for boundaries isn't just appealing, it's healing. It shows them that love doesn't have to consume, that you can be close to someone without losing yourself. The cat's occasional distance isn't rejection, it's a reminder. You're allowed to exist as yourself, separate, whole. This is where judgment falls away, because once you understand the wounds beneath the choices, you can't dismiss either path. The dog lover isn't needy. They're courageously seeking what was denied to them. The cat lover isn't cold. They're carefully protecting what they've learned to value. Both are doing essential work. Both are using their pets to practice forms of love that life didn't always model. And here's the paradox. By understanding what draws us to one type of pet, we actually expand our capacity for both types of connection. When a dog person understands the cat person's need for space, they learn to offer it in human relationships. When a cat person understands the dog person's need for reassurance, they learn to provide it. Our pets become teachers, not just of how to care for animals, but how to care for people, how to care for ourselves. Think about the moments when this understanding matters most. A dog lover in a relationship with someone who needs alone time. If they understand the cat lover's psychology, they don't take the distance personally. They recognize it as self-care, as necessary, not as rejection. This one shift saves countless conflicts, prevents countless hurts. Or a cat lover in a relationship with someone who needs frequent affirmation. If they understand the dog lover's psychology, they don't see the need as weakness. They recognize it as a valid emotional language, a way of feeling secure. This understanding transforms obligation into generosity. Suddenly, the frequent I love yous aren't burdensome. They're meaningful. They matter to someone you care about. Our pets prepare us for this flexibility. They teach us to love in ways that might not come naturally. The dog lover learns patience during the times their dog sleeps peacefully alone. The cat lover learns warmth during the moments their cat demands attention. These small lessons accumulate, shape us, make us more capable of meeting others where they are. But there's something even more profound happening. When we choose our pets, we're also choosing which parts of ourselves to nurture. The dog lover is nurturing their capacity for unconditional acceptance, for routine, for dependable joy. The cat lover is nurturing their capacity for respect, for patience, for valuing quality over quantity. Both are legitimate forms of growth. Both expand who we are. And sometimes people switch. The lifelong dog person who suddenly finds themselves drawn to cats, or the cat person who unexpectedly falls in love with a dog. These shifts aren't random. They mark internal changes, evolutions. Maybe the dog person has finally found stability in their human relationships and now craves complexity. Maybe the cat person has healed enough to risk the vulnerability of unconditional love. The change in pet preference reflects a change in soul. This is why the question matters, why it reveals more than we initially think. Because animals live honestly. They can't pretend, can't perform. When you choose an animal companion, you're choosing a form of honesty, the kind of truth you can handle, the kind of connection you're ready for. And as you grow, as you heal, as you change, what you need from that connection shifts. We also need to acknowledge what both groups share. Dog lovers and cat lovers both understand something essential. That other beings matter. That caring for something beyond yourself creates meaning. That the small rituals of feeding, playing, and simply being present transform ordinary life into something sacred. This shared understanding matters more than any difference. Both groups know what it means to worry about another creature, to rush home because someone is waiting, to feel grief when that life ends, to carry the weight of responsibility and find it somehow lighter than living only for yourself. This is the core truth. Whether you prefer dogs or cats, you've chosen connection over isolation. You've decided that love, with all its demands and complications, is worth it. And maybe that's the real revelation. Not that dog people and cat people are fundamentally different, but that we're all trying to answer the same question. How do I love? How do I let myself be loved? How do I create meaning in a world that often feels meaningless? Some of us answer with dogs, some with cats, some with both, some with neither, but with different forms of connection entirely. The specifics matter less than the attempt, because at the end of the day, your pet choice reveals your deepest relationship with vulnerability, with need, with trust. Dog people trust that showing need is safe, that asking for devotion won't end in disappointment. Cat people trust that respecting boundaries creates deeper bonds than forcing closeness. Both forms of trust are beautiful. Both require courage. Think about what your pet has taught you, really taught you deep down, not about animal care, about yourself, about what you're capable of. Every dog lover has experienced the moment when caring for their dog felt easier than caring for themselves. Every cat lover has experienced the moment when their cat's trust felt more valuable than any human approval. These moments change us, quietly, permanently. They teach us that we're capable of true consistency, of patience, of putting another being's needs first. These are not small lessons. They're the foundation of everything meaningful: work, friendship, love, parenthood. It all requires the same skills we first practice with our pets. The ability to show up, to pay attention, to care even when it's inconvenient. And here's what's beautiful. The world needs both types of people. The dog people who create warmth and loyalty and stability. The cat people who honor independence and subtlety and earn trust. We need the ones who love loudly and the ones who love quietly. We need the ones who build routines and the ones who appreciate spontaneity. Together, we create balance. Imagine a world of only dog lovers. It would be warm, connected, but maybe too dependent, too rigid in its need for constant contact. Now imagine a world of only cat lovers. It would be respectful, thoughtful, but maybe too distant, too isolated in its protection of boundaries. We need both. We need the tension between them, the conversation, the mutual learning. This is why judgment serves no one. When a dog person dismisses a cat person as cold, they miss the beauty of intentional affection. When a cat person dismisses a dog person as needy, they miss the courage of open-hearted trust. Both dismissals impoverish us. Both prevent understanding. Both keep us locked in smaller versions of ourselves. So what does your pet reveal about your soul? Maybe that you're healing. Maybe that you're learning. Maybe that you're practicing a form of love that didn't come naturally, but that you're determined to master. Maybe that you know yourself well enough to choose what you need rather than what society expects. All of these are worthy. All of these matter. The dog lover is not simple. They're creating sanctuary. The cat lover is not cold. They're honoring complexity. Both are engaged in profound work. Both are using their relationship with animals to become more fully themselves. And in becoming more fully themselves, they become more capable of genuine connection with others. Here's the final truth. You are not just a dog person or a cat person. You are a person learning to love in the ways you most need to learn. Your pet is the practice ground, the safe space where you can experiment with trust, with care, with showing up consistently, with respecting boundaries, with all the skills that human relationships require but rarely teach directly. And maybe that's enough. Maybe the point isn't to analyze yourself into perfect categories. Maybe the point is simply to notice, to honor what you've chosen, to recognize that your preference reveals something real about your inner world, and to let that recognition guide you toward more compassionate understanding of yourself, of others, of all the different ways we try to create meaning in our brief time here. Your pet is a mirror, but it's also a teacher, a companion on the journey of becoming who you're meant to be. Whether that companion greets you with boundless enthusiasm or quiet acknowledgement doesn't matter as much as the fact that you chose to walk this path together, that you decided connection was worth the effort. The vulnerability, the inevitable pain of loving something that won't live as long as you will. And in that choice, dog person or cat person, you revealed the most important thing about your soul. You're capable of love. You're willing to try. You understand that being human means being open to another being, even when it's complicated, even when it asks more of you than feels comfortable. You chose it anyway. That's not a small thing. That's everything. So the next time someone asks if you're a dog person or a cat person, maybe the real answer is simpler than we think. I'm a person learning to love in the way I most need to learn. And my pet is helping me figure out what that means. That's the truth beneath all our preferences. That's what your choice reveals. Not a fixed category, but a direction, a path, a way of being in the world that honors both your needs and your capacity for growth. And maybe that's the most beautiful part. We're not static. We're not locked into one way of being forever. We're allowed to change, to need different things in different seasons, to learn from our pets and from each other, to expand our understanding of what love can look like, to become more flexible, more compassionate, more whole. Your pet is teaching you this every day in small ways, through their presence, through their specific form of affection, through the way they ask you to show up, Pay attention. Be consistent. Be patient. Be respectful. All the things that make us better humans, better friends, better partners, better versions of ourselves. So whether you're a dog person or a cat person, or someone still figuring it out, know this: your choice matters. It reveals something real, something true. And understanding that truth helps you understand yourself, helps you navigate relationships, helps you see others more clearly, more kindly, with less judgment and more curiosity. That's the gift, not just from our pets, but from the honest reflection on why we choose what we choose, why we need what we need, why we love the way we love. These questions don't have simple answers, but asking them with sincerity changes us, opens us, makes us more capable of the very thing we're all seeking. Genuine connection, deep understanding, the sense that we're not alone, that we're seen, that we matter. And your pet already knows this, has known it all along. They see you clearly. They accept you completely. They offer what they have to give without hesitation. And in receiving it, in letting yourself need it, you prove something essential. You're alive. You're trying. You're doing the hard work of being human. And that, more than any category or label, is what your soul is truly made of.